Mtazamaji, hapo awali tulikuwa tumekupa taarifa kuhusiana na uapisho wa baadhi ya mahakimu katika mahakama za humu nchini, shughuli ambayo ilikuwa inaendeshwa na Jaji Mkuu David Maraga. Shughuli hiyo bado ikeli kuendelea na hivi sasa David Maraga anatoa hotuba yake. Hebu tuende moja kwa moja tumsikize kutoka mahakamani.
But also one of great responsibility that demands professionalism, dedication, impartiality, independence, and above all, integrity and accountability. The Constitution promises the people of Kenya, among other things, that you, as a magistrate, will do justice to all persons, irrespective of status. That you shall not deliver justice. That you shall deliver justice. That you shall render justice without undue regard to procedural technicalities, and that you shall protect and promote the purpose and the principles in our Constitution. You must have seen the media reports on the corruption conference held at Bomas of Kenya last week. We were heavily and roundly criticized, mainly for delay and corruption. I urge you to take charge of your courtrooms. Ensure that you effectively manage cases and matters that are before you. Endless adjournments of cases on frivolous grounds are the very reasons that we have case backlog in our system. The public are fed up with the kind of handling of cases where you are very quick to grant adjournments even when it is not deserved at all. We cannot afford to continue that way, and we are actually going to very, very keenly watch your management of the court cases in court. In criminal cases, I would urge you to familiarize yourselves with the bond and the sentence policies. The reason why they were developed is because of great disparities that we noted within the courts. You find one court granting bond on terms, and another court granting completely different terms in the same offense, dealing with the same offense. Upon conviction, the same happens. That kind of disparity gives the impression, or leaves the public with the impression, that there is something more than consideration of the offense that was before a magistrate. That's why we came up with the bond and the sentence policy. Please familiarize yourself with that so that you are able to, it is not going to be uniform. We don't expect to have uniform punishment all over. But when the disparity is so great, it creates a problem. And I hope you understand that. Please read your files and prepare ahead of the court sessions. You should be well prepared and aware of the issues before heading to court. If you do not prepare, there is a great probability that you will end up being taken in circles by lawyers and litigants themselves. Adequate preparation enables you to determine the issues before you. And I'll give you a very simple example. We were, Jaji, it's not just Katharima. Before I became CJ, I was presiding in Humu. And a matter came to court from one of the regions in Humu. It's a land matter. A dispute over land matter. Somebody bought a piece of land, 4 acres. It is in a written agreement, 4 acres. But he went and fenced off 6. And he comes to court and says, no, when the deceased was selling this piece of land to me, he told me that the piece of land he's selling to me goes up to 33. The case had been in court for 12 years by the time it was coming to the Court of Appeal. So when we looked at that file and said, look, what is here? What is here to hear? I was presiding and I told the lawyers to sit down. And I spoke with the parties. I just started with the seller. I asked him whether he knew any English. I found he was a principal of a secondary school. So I asked him, look, I mean, how much land did you buy? He couldn't answer. I told him, I directed him to the clause in the agreement, which talked of 4. And I asked him to read it aloud. Then he says, look, what are we here? So he says, no, I told him, look. And I asked this lawyer to stand up. I told him, since when does an oral assertion change the terms of a written contract? He couldn't answer. We refused to hear that appeal. Ordered that the parties go, the surveyor goes there, surveys 4 acres and give that man his 4 acres. And that's the end of the matter. If the trial court had done that, that case would not have been in court for 4 years. For 12 years. That's why I'm urging you to read your files. Go to court, take charge. Don't be scared by the magistrates. By the lawyers. I have a senior. When you have read your file and you know what you are dealing with, of course, you will give them the courtesy they require, but be firm and deal with those cases. That way you will find that if you have several cases, some of them you will find, you will yourself recommend arbitration under Article 159. So that's why I am very, very keen to tell you that we are going to assess you, more importantly, on how you manage your cases in court and how you deal with those cases. You have joined the judiciary. We have the Judicial Code of Conduct and Ethics.